Yes! Oh, it is! It is a Friday episode of Donno Daily here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. I am Alex Donno, taking you for the next hour, my friends, a football freaking Friday. I love how Sean flashed my own message on the screen. I was the first person in on my own chat. Let's go. If you're watching this live, take advantage of the live chat feature, my friends. Let's talk some Canes football. Give me your final score prediction. We're going to talk some Dolphins on this episode today as well. Of course, I've got to be all decked out in Canes. I got my lucky Jim Kelly throwback on. Number 12, baby. My lucky Jim Kelly throwback on at 12:07 today. We're going to get game picks for the weekend from professional sports handicapper Lee Sterling from ParamountSports.com. 12:30. It's all about the U with I already said Lee Sterling, with Larry Blustein, who's going to join us to talk Miami versus Bama. I'm going to give you my own reasons why Miami is going to keep this game close. Before we get to that, my friends, I want to remind you that every episode of Donno Daily is served by the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. And look at that. Spend your football Saturday tomorrow and all of your upcoming football Sundays at the Quarterdeck. They've got 5 for $15 buckets, my friends. You can get a bucket with 5 ice-cold Heineken Light, Amstel Light, Dos Equis, or High Noon Hard Seltzer and mix and match to your heart's content. 5 for $15. And while you're there at the Quarterdeck watching Miami versus Bama tomorrow, guys, make sure you try the delicious food. The sandwiches are amazing. The French dip, the jerk chicken sandwich, the burgers are awesome. The seafood is so fresh at the Quarterdeck. They have 2-for-1 happy hour all day, every day. And also, it's your spot to watch every UFC pay-per-view fight with zero cover charge. You pay nothing at the door. QuarterdeckRestaurants.com. The Quarterdeck, come for the food, stay for the fun. Yes, happy Friday, David. Dade Franco, Bama 34, Miami 35. Oh, I love what he did there. He snuck in the Miami score after. That is a beautiful thing. And guys, if you're bullish on Miami covering that spread, or if you've got real brass balls and you want to bet Miami on the money line to win the game outright, you want to place your action on the official sports book of Donno Daily. We have an official sports book. It is betus.com. They have been serving clients like me for 27 years. I've not been with them 27 years, but they have been serving clients for 27 years. They are known as America's favorite sports book. Great customer service, second to none. They've got the best bonuses in the business, my friends. Action across every sport across the world. You can pretty much guarantee they have your game. I've even bet college lacrosse on betus.com. They have everything. Guys, you want to sign up with our code. In fact, if you follow me on Twitter, we have a special show link that makes it even easier. But go to betus.com, and when you make your first deposit, use our code 5RSN125 and receive a 125% sign-up bonus. 5RSN125. I'm having so much fun betting at betus.com. I know Brooklyn Rob calls me the mush, but Rob, I'm actually doing pretty well. I went 2 for 2 on the college football games yesterday. They've been paying me out, brother. I did pretty well yesterday, 2 for 2. I just, my soccer bets have not been that great recently. So sign up at betus.com and use our promo code for a sweet bonus. It's 125% with a credit card or a 200% bonus with crypto. So Lee Sterling's going to be joining us in about a few minutes. Guys, not only do I think Miami can compete, and you've heard it here first, folks, I will not be shocked if Miami wins the game outright against Alabama tomorrow. That's not what I'm expecting to happen, but I would not be shocked. But I am very confident Miami is going to keep it close, and they're going to keep it a lot closer than Vegas thinks they will. Miami plus 19.5. Guys, they are not going to lose this game by 20 points. They are going to keep it with a couple of scores. So I've been doing a lot of reading this week and talking to some Alabama people. And the scouting report on what Alabama is going to do tomorrow with their offense. Remember, they're breaking in a new starting quarterback, very limited experience, Bryce Young. He was an amazing high school player. We know that. Everybody on Alabama's roster was an amazing high school player. But they're breaking in a new starting quarterback with barely any experience, redshirted last year, did play a few games in mop-up duty, didn't do a whole lot. The book on what Alabama is going to do tomorrow offensively, they're going to be very conservative. And Bill O'Brien, who's the new offensive coordinator there, is expected to basically only call Bryce Young into action for high percentage throws. They're going to try to gash Miami on the ground. And I'm not saying Miami is going to stop their running game. Brian Robinson, the fifth-year senior, is going to be a tough guy to stop. Sophomore Jace McClellan is going to be a big-time player as well. But, folks, this is not going to be, at least not game one. Bryce Young may get to this point. He very well might. But game one, this is not going to be the type of high-flying offense we watched with Mac Jones last year, who was a fifth-year senior, and with Tua Tagovailoa, who's one of the most gifted quarterbacks in college history the previous couple of years. They're going to be a lot more conservative with Bryce Young. They're going to establish the run. That's going to take time off the clock. It's going to take explosive plays away. I do not believe Alabama is going to be scoring in the 40s or above tomorrow. I think they might score in the 30s, but I'm also going to give credit to Miami's offense and DAndre King. They're going to put up some points. Alabama is not going to win this game by 20 or more points. I am very, very confident in that, okay? And Alabama's offensive line, same deal. You replace five-star players with other five-star players. That's the way Nick Saban does it. 8 of the last 10 years, Saban and Bama have had the number 1 recruiting class in the country. 8 of the last 10 years. So we know the guys who are stepping into starting roles are very, very good. But that's an unproven offensive line outside of Evan Neal at tackle, who is 6'7", gigantic. His name might as well be Goliath. The guy is huge. But a lesser proven offensive line, I think they're going to be conservative with the passing game enough. Alabama's probably still going to win. I'm not going to talk you out of that. But just based on the scouting report being conservatively run offense for tomorrow, relatively speaking, they're treating it like a business trip. I do not believe Bama is going to blow out Miami by 3 scores or more the way people do and the way the odds makers clearly do because they're favored by 19.5 points. Miami is going to keep this game within the spread they are going to cover. And then Hurricanes fans can debate amongst themselves, at what point do you consider it a moral victory, if you even believe in those? And I know we've had people bring that up in the comments here. If Miami can keep it within 10 points and be at least really competitive through 3 quarters, maybe it's a tie score going into the 4th. I think a lot of folks would come out of that and saying, wow, Manny Diaz is closing the talent gap. I think that's the way you would come out of that, because the last couple times in recent years, Miami has faced Clemson, which has been the benchmark for you in your conference. Miami has not kept those games close. They continue, I think, to do a better and better job in recruiting, especially recruiting this area and bringing the talent level up. So then you have to wonder, how much has Miami closed that gap? All right, let's bring in our first guest of this show. And I've got to compliment this man, because a week ago at this time, Lee Sterling is with us now from ParamountSports.com. A week ago at this time, Lee, it was Miami plus 18.5. You told me to wait if I wanted to bet Miami, which I do. It's 19.5 now. Could there even be more last-minute movement, or do you think this is where the line's going to stay?
It might touch 20 for a second. You're gonna have to pay attention to your screen. I don't think it's going to 21 or 22, but right. Got a shot. Not much difference between, 18.5 and 19.5, but 17 and 18, you see some scores there. You see 30, 35, 17 scores. So you see that all the time. And also, if it gets to 21 points, you got a shot. So those extra couple points over the course of the season can pay a lot. Like, for instance, let me give you a game. So I bet UCF early. I got them at 4.5 and 5.
Yeah.
I got my clients at 6 yesterday.
And then won by 6, right?
No, they won by 5. Missed the 2-point conversion.
Oh, you're right. My bad. I my math skills. What was it? 36-31, I think was the final. Yeah. So wow. So that it paid off for your clients. I'll tell you that.
No. It paid off for me.
Paid off for you, not for your
clients. So
yeah. So what do you think, Lee, for tomorrow? You think Miami keeps it within 20? What are you expecting?
I think so. I think Young, the quarterback for Alabama, is going to be good. If this was game 6, I'd probably lay 25 and take Alabama.
Yeah.
Be rolling by them. But young quarterbacks, they have a tendency to do 2 things. Throw too late, which he doesn't do. If you watch the spring game, his timing is good. but he sometimes bails from the pocket. And when you watch Mac Jones last year, he would step up a couple times and get whacked, but he'd deliver the ball right on the money. And Bryce Young's not there yet. So I think Miami's going to come after him. They can't sit back and play a soft, defense, a soft 4-3. North Carolina just absolutely bludgeoned them. So they got to come after him. They got to stop the run. They got to put pressure on the quarterback. They're going to have to go man for man. They kind of alluded to it. Manny alluded to it. They're going to be more aggressive. And I think you're going to see it. They just can't be left on the field, 40 minutes out of the 60 minutes. They'll get destroyed. So I think they've got a shot. You don't lose those kind of superstars. I don't know if we've ever seen a team. There's been some great Miami teams that had some great running backs and great receivers. But this might be the greatest collection in 1 year. Mac Jones was up there, but Harris was scary good.
Oh, my God. Yeah, and the two receivers as well.
I mean, Waddle was thought of much better than Smith before he got hurt. So, I mean, I just think Miami's going to bring it. I think it'll be a 7-point game going into the fourth quarter. I got Alabama winning 35-24. That's why I'm taking the 19.5.
Yeah, and listen, the other reason, and you're right, if this were week 6, I would think, 19.5 points is probably nothing for Bama, because the other thing for me, it's not only about Bryce Young's abilities, but I think that they're going to be extra conservative with him in the first game. Like, I really expect Bill O'Brien's going to be calling just high percentage throws, really going to force the running game to make him comfortable. So, the more they run the football, the more time is going to be bled off the clock, fewer explosive plays. Now, listen, if Miami's rushing defense has not improved from the one that got obliterated by North Carolina, then you can throw my prediction out the window. If their rushing defense is like the one that got gashed by UNC, even if Alabama's running it 40 times, they could still put up 50 points. I'm assuming it's not going to be that bad. So running the football a lot, going to take more time off the clock, going to take some explosive plays away. This is not going to be the same sort of high-flying offense Mac Jones was running and Tua before him. I think they're going to be a lot more conservative. It's going to look more like traditional SEC football tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, the play that could really hurt Miami, if Miami brings blitz, is screen. If I'm Alabama, I set up some screens because they might hit on some big plays there. So, yeah, it could get away from Miami. I mean, Alabama has supreme athletes. I watched the spring game. They got next man up. Trust me, they got a couple kids at running back, 2 kids named Robinson.
Yeah.
One tailback and one is like an X-slot guy. He runs, he catches. So he might even throw. They're scary good. But I think Miami could catch them right out of the gate.
I like it. What else do we like this weekend, Lee? Because this is college football palooza, and it's crazy because imagine next week when the NFL is full throttle as well. But college football palooza this weekend. What are some picks you like? We also have UFC this weekend. If you're interested in something there, what do you want our listeners to look at?
All right, let's look at Clemson and Georgia. Public is all over Georgia. I don't get it. I don't get the love. I don't like Kirby Smart in big games. I don't like his offensive coordinator, Todd Monken. I think his play calling is very uneven. JT Daniels, it's decent. I don't get all the love for the guy. It's not like the next coming. What's his crown victory, over Cincinnati in a bowl game? Doesn't get me excited. On the other side, how does Dabo do after, for him, a subpar year where he loses 2 games? Last time he lost 2 games, next year he came back and went 15-0. He's got the best defensive line. 4 guys, 3 of the 4 will probably be first rounders. He's got 4 receivers, including one from Miami, Frank Ladson, that go 6'3" to 6'4". They can run like the wind. They can probably take a quarter off the top of a backboard. If they all stay healthy, they have all the potential, these 4 guys, to be first round picks. So I like Clemson here. I think they win and cover 30-20.
I like it. What else?
Also like Texas. Now, everyone remembers Louisiana Lafayette's big upset last year against Iowa State. Am I right?
Yeah.
Most people couldn't tell you any other game they played. The rest of here, I'm going to give you some facts. So they played great that game. They had 2 special teams returns for touchdowns. They caught Iowa State napping. They played out of their minds. But did you know that they had to go to overtime to beat Georgia State?
No, I didn't.
Georgia State. How about 2 and 3 point wins against Georgia Southern and Texas San Antonio?
Wow.
A 10-point win, that's it, against my alma mater, the Texas State Bobcats, who were.
I didn't know you went there. Wow, you're a Bobcat, eh?
Yeah, it was here when it was Southwest Texas State.
Wow.
Back in the day. So, yeah. So I think that Texas is going to run the ball. Lafayette lost. The Raging Cajuns lost their top 2 running backs from last year. So I like Texas. I think Texas is the right side. This line, if it wasn't for the Raging Cajuns' reputation, would probably be 13 or 14. But I think Lafayette has no idea what to expect from Texas, new coaching staff. So give me Texas minus the 8. I think they win and cover 30-16.
I love it. Anything else? Anything in the UFC?
Yeah, I like a UFC fight. So they have this new kid coming. Have you heard of Paddy Pimblett? Have you heard of this guy?
Yeah, I have. I don't know if I've watched him, but I've heard the name. There's a lot of buzz.
Okay, so where is the toughest soccer fans in the London area? What team?
Man, I know I'm going to get this wrong, but it seems like the Southsiders are tougher than the Northsiders.
What team? What team?
I guess maybe North Side. Is that where Arsenal is? I know they're fans of the most miserable.
You wouldn't say Liverpool?
Well, that's not in London. That's why you threw me off.
I mean, okay.
That's why you threw me off. I'm thinking of very specific geography. Yeah, Liverpool. I could see that.
Okay, so he's facing Louis Vendramini in the 155-pound lightweight class.
Ooh.
He is from Liverpool. If you ever been to a game, you don't just walk in there with another jersey and sit down and talk. Am I right?
Yeah, the hooligans will beat the crap out of you.
Right. Vendramini is a dangerous opponent. He's big for the division. However, we're looking for Pimblett to I think he's going to get the fight to the mat and control the action and either grind out a win here or submit the Italian fighter. This is a fighter here that I think has a big future. Really smart that he waited. When you see fighters wait, when they're asked to come into the UFC, but they wait a little longer, sometimes it's 6 months, a year, 2 years longer, they usually have a lot of success. And I think he's the real deal. He's minus 150. Let's go on him in the UFC on Saturday night, fight night.
You better be really confident if you're asking me to bet against an Italian.
Okay.
You better be very no, and I'm with you because I bet Adesanya over Vettori. So I've done it. I've done it before. But you better be really confident. We appreciate.
You need a really good Italian. I think is good. I don't think he's next level. So
yeah.
If 6 months from now or a year from now, you might have to lay if these two guys were fighting above 200. So I think the price is pretty cheap.
I love it. Hey, on the way out, how'd you do last night, Lee? I mean, you mentioned you were good on UCF. Your clients waited a little bit too long, but how'd you do overall last night?
Well, we lost UCF, lost for my clients, which was frustrating. You know what? I don't know if you know this, but whenever a quarterback throws a pick six of 80 yards or more, do you know your chances of winning are less than 15%?
No, I didn't know that.
Here, think of the logic. You're probably going in for a score. So there's usually a 14-point switch there. Goes from a touchdown your way, or at least a field goal, a touchdown the other way. And then also psychologically, a team, how do they handle that?
Yeah, that's true.
The whole way, I'm having a couple of my friends are texting me, calling me, sitting next to me, watching the game. I'm like, oh, we're going to pull this out. I'm like, no, we're not going to. I've seen this play out before. We had a chance. We just needed a 2-point conversion, came out a yard short. I actually lost my baseball game, which we'd been on a roll. I think I was like 106-75 in 3 months.
Wow.
Lost in baseball at Tampa Bay. So a rare down day. I think I'd gone like 13 or 15 days winning. So look to get back on track today and have a nice weekend.
I love it. Well, enjoy the weekend, Lee. And I know you're very busy on these football Fridays and Saturdays. So have a good one. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay. See you, Alex.
So basically what he's talking about there with the psychological impact of a pick six, 80 yards or more, I think what he's saying there is the Miami Hurricanes, if they get a pick six for 85 yards in that game, Alabama are toast. That's a key to victory right there. Now, Miami, I think, in order to actually win the game outright, I told you I'm very confident in covering the 19.5-point spread, and I stand by that. To win the game outright, you basically need your 22 starters to be all of them close to perfect. Now, Miami has returned 19 of last year's 22 starters, which I like. There's not a lot of turnover on the roster, which is very good. And we're so lucky to have DAndre King. We're so lucky that he decided to transfer to Miami in the first place and that he decided to stay the extra year. And remember, he didn't decide to stay the extra year because he got injured. He got injured after he had already decided to come back. Oh, Ben, don't slander me like that. Ben says Donno is wearing a Malik Rozier jersey. Jesus, we're doomed. Bama by 80. My friend, do not be fooled by the number 12. This is, let me see if I can show you guys my back here. Hold on. Can you see that? It's so hard to, well, I've got the headphone cord hanging off my head to turn around, but I'm wearing a Jim Kelly throwback. I would never wear a Malik Rozier. Not in a billion years would I represent that dude. Although he did have the one nice year, 2017. 2017 Malik was my guy. Other than that, I'm wearing a Jim Kelly throwback jersey. In about 9 minutes, we're going to talk with Larry Blustein, LarryBlustein.com, and the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Do grown men wear jerseys? Now, is that coming from Sean Stanley or Manny Chang? I need to throw Manny under the bus here a little bit.
What?
Hold on.
100% Manny. No, absolutely not.
Well, okay, first of all, who wrote that message? Do grown men wear jerseys?
I wrote it, but then Sean, hold on. Sean answered the question too. He was like, all right, so don't you run away from that, Sean. You even said like this.
First off, Donno couldn't see that. So, I mean, you're just trying to throw somebody else under the bus.
Oh,
Listen, I think no matter what age you are, it's acceptable to wear a jersey to an actual game or, to do a stream, okay? I mean, listen, I want to show the people I've got faith in the team. Once you pass the age of like 18, 19, it's not acceptable to wear it to like a social setting that does not involve being in the stands to watch a game. But I think it is acceptable to wear it for a YouTube stream where we're talking Miami, or acceptable to play it to a game. Yes, throw Manny under the bus won't make much of a difference with his looks. Okay, but Manny, here's why I wanted to throw you under the bus, okay?
Oh, boy, here we go.
Please show, you already showed me before the show, show everyone your $300 shoes. Show us the shoe. You paid $300 for these shoes. Show them to us, please.
I sold one pair and I paid the difference. So
they're worth $300 though. These are the
cream clay Yeezy foam runners right here, made out of recycled materials and algae from the sea.
You should have left it in the sea.
You guys are just haters. You guys don't understand. Listen, even my dog agrees with me.
No, your dog is trying to escape.
Your dog's probably going to fetch those.
Your dog is like, those are so ugly. Hold on. Those are so ugly. Your dog doesn't even want to poop in those shoes.
You guys are haters. That's what it is. You guys don't understand fashion. You guys don't understand being comfortable. Okay. It's easy for you guys to get up and go to Walmart and pay a $25 shoe that's going to break apart in 1 week.
$25.
Like, I'm fine. My feet don't need any, to be, my feet are, they're going to break down soon anyways. Like, no, you got to be able to, wear stuff that's going to sustain you throughout your whole life. Your heels are important. Your Achilles is important. Your toes are important. And this shoe, especially right here. Listen,
hold on a minute, man. If they were so important, your dumbass wouldn't have bought those shoes.
Look at those shoes.
They're beautiful, bro. Look at that. Look at that beautiful cream clay.
Bro,
right there.
Kanye is trolling you. Like Kanye is really smart. He's smarter than people think. I guarantee you, he and the Yeezy people, they get together in the boardroom and he's got like a 3-year-old child drawing the designs. And he's like, bro, guys, I swear. This is what Kanye is saying in the boardroom. Kanye is saying, I can get my fans to literally buy anything. Like,
okay.
It does not matter how ugly I make these. I can get people like Manny to pay $300 for literally anything you design here. He is trolling you.
Just because
went down the list,
hold on.
We sold one. All right.
Just because the way that it looks, and just because of the colorway, you can't just say a shoe sucks. Try it on.
Sucks. Dude,
No,
I don't.
no,
It could be the
Listen,
most
it's a damn
comfortable
Miami-
thing
listen,
ever.
by the way,
It could come with a lap dance, and I wouldn't invest $8 in that.
Listen, this is made by Adidas, by the way, and Miami is sponsored by freaking Adidas. All right, if they ever made these in Miami Hurricane colors,
Oh my God.
I'm damn sure that Alex Donno will be around the block the first one saying, "Yo, Manny, what time do they open?" I swear to God, you would be.
I love how
Listen,
Alfredo.
you gotta appreciate difference. This is difference.
Getting our channel shut down.
Yeah, you're gonna get everyone like we're getting probably
Oh, no,
reported right now.
According to our views, we've gone up 6 views since this whole thing. So hey, it's working somehow.
Yeah, because it's a train wreck. Everybody loves train wrecks.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
That's why the news only talks
By the
about
way,
bad news.
This says it all.
One more quick shout out to Kanye. I thought it was absolutely brilliant
Dude,
about
he's stealing your money.
about this specific pair.
You're enabling
So,
Kanye.
The box comes. You're like, what the hell is this? What? Now when you open it up, bam. That's pretty dope to me.
What am I looking at?
Fair to the foam runner. I think he's trying to show you that he's put the name of the shoe inside,
What,
so you know what ugly shoe you bought for
What-
$300.
Bunch of
so you're calling this guy a genius because he puts the name of the shoe in the box? Like, dude,
Well,
you're a zombie. You're a Kanye zombie.
Listen, you didn't even know what
Dumbass.
Donda was last week. Don't give me that.
I did. Yeah, you're right about that. I had to Google what is Donda.
Listen, in October, there will be an all red one of this exact same model. And me being a heat season ticket holder, I will be wearing these.
I hope
And
they kick you out of the arena.
I almost said the AAA, but it's not more the AAA. I don't know. I don't even know the name.
FTX Arena.
The FTX Arena. I will be wearing these in all red for all heat games.
Yeah.
Okay. You're more than welcome to find me in section 320, row 8. You want to take a picture with them? I'm there, baby. I'll be
You're
there.
gonna get a
every
pink
single
pair?
day. Huh?
I'm glad you told us exactly where you
Yeah,
sit, so
Miami.
security knows where to find you to kick your ass out of that arena. Oh my God,
Bunch of haters.
those are the
By the way,
ugliest
hey,
things.
easy. Best known croc in the history of mankind, right here, baby.
Dude, like, you know what? Honestly, like, I give up on capitalism. Like, how is it fair that, like, I have to wonder every month, how am I going to pay my mortgage and my bills? And Kanye West is probably worth $1 billion, and he's selling shoes like that. You know what? I think that shoe put me over the edge. I am now a communist. Like, I cannot tolerate this. Kanye won a bet about selling those shoes. Like, I give up on capitalism. The game is rigged. If I were to design a shoe like that, you know how many I would sell?
Alex,
0, and I would get laughed at.
The first moment your feet hurt, you can't walk anymore, your Achilles is killing you, your big toes are all of a sudden turning the other way, let me know.
I can't wait.
I am going to get you a pair of these, and you're going to thank me for the rest of your life. You too, Sean. You too, Mr. Wrestling Man.
The only thing
I'm pretty sure your wrestlers know fashion, and I know half of them wear these around the house. All right,
When you burn them, I
telling
will
me they
thank
don't.
you. Burn them, and I'll thank you.
He said I bet half of them wear them around the house because they sure as hell don't wear them in public.
Always wearing that in
That's
public.
for sure. Oh man. All right, let's bring in.
Ask Larry Blustein if he would ever wear.
Hold on, keep those handy, okay? Stay right there. But can you bring on Larry Blustein? Larry Blustein, the man, the myth, the legend, Blue. Please, let's have an intervention here. Manny Chang paid $300 for those shoes. Please tell him those are the ugliest things you've ever seen.
$300? Oh, come on.
He did he traded in another pair of shoes to bring down the price, but $300 sticker price on those shoes. Please tell the man he's crazy.
Blue.
You already know the way I feel about him. So
Blue. Imagine if you could wake up every single day, not having to worry about your shoes. Just know that you have one specific pair. All you gotta do is put on some socks. You're gonna be comfortable for the rest of your day. Listen, you, my man, you go visit 5-6 high schools a day. You come on, like you're on your feet. At some point, you know, your like ankles start to hurt. Your feet just hurt. These shoes right here are made for guys like you, Blue. I swear.
Yeah, I hear you.
He would rather walk with a cane
Yeah,
than wear those in public.
Hey, Manny, go sell Bitcoin or something. I mean,
see, I don't know about that.
You know, honestly,
help me once.
hold on.
Just said do this, and I had no idea what language.
What?
I do trade Bitcoin.
I'm sure you do.
That's a much better investment than those sneakers. I can very confidently
Yeah.
These
say.
are gonna save my feet an extra 5 years. Watch.
Hey, at
Oh
least
my
you
God.
can see those sneakers.
True.
All right, Manny, man, just go hide in the corner. I got to talk. The grown-ups are talking here, okay? Larry Blustein, you see right there where to follow him on Twitter. He and I co-host every week 5 Rings Canes. We just put out a new episode yesterday previewing Alabama, so you guys want to make sure to check that out. We were joined by Brian Monroe, former Cane. So, Blue, your thoughts on what Alabama is going to look like offensively? Because one of the reasons why I'm confident Miami's going to cover the spread is I think that they're going to be very conservative with Bryce Young, and it's going to be mostly trying to establish the run, a lot of high percentage throws for Bryce, which running game is going to take time off the clock. As long as Miami looks better against the run than they did against North Carolina last year, God forbid, I think that this is going to be within a couple of scores in Alabama's favor. How do you see Alabama? And they have talent all over the field. What do you think their offense is going to look like tomorrow?
Probably the same thing it's looked like for the last 15 years. They're gonna do a lot of the stuff that everybody knows they're gonna do. They have experience in some areas, and they're gonna exploit Miami's front seven when they can. And that's they're gonna run the ball. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna establish what they've always done. Yeah, everybody loses talent. We know that, Alex. I mean,
yeah.
But I just think that Alabama is going to come out. They're going to try to establish themselves on offense, and defensively, they're going to try to keep Miami from making the huge plays, just like they always do. So it's it's not a mystery. And I know you keep trying to get that line down to a manageable thinking, but anything can happen. I just think that the best thing for Alabama to do is to get out to a big lead and then kind of relax, and then Miami
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, Miami's going to get out to a big lead, and then Alabama's going to
you know what? If Miami gets out to the big lead, then I'll just sit there and say, you know what? I never expected it. That's my only retort. But I will say this. We talk about this, in the podcast, and I urge everybody to listen to it, because Brian Monroe came up with some really, really, really good scenarios. And
yeah, he did.
And here's a guy who played for the Canes, so he understands, what's going on. But certainly, Alex, I think that Alabama has a lot of talent. Miami has a lot of talent. It's gonna be a great matchup. Great matchup.
Yeah, no question about that. I want to focus on Miami's offense now against Alabama's defense, because Alabama's defense returns a lot more starters than their offense. Their offense is a bigger question mark. And we did see a handful of times last year where DAndre King was so good and so dynamic, like the North Carolina State game, where he's going to single-handedly elevate Miami to victory. I know it's going to take more than DAndre King to beat a team like Alabama, but Blue, what sort of a day are you expecting King to have? Because this is probably the best defense. I would say the best defense for sure he's going to face all season long. What sort of numbers do you expect King to put up tomorrow? And just like, how good do you expect him to be against that D?
Well, first of all, I think you, I, and all the fan base might be thinking about his injury more than he is. I think that we're all saying, oh, geez, that first hit, he hasn't even been touched. Remember, he's had no scrimmage. He's wearing the jersey that no one can come within 4 feet of you. And so he hasn't taken a hit. So that I'd like to see. I think he gets right up after that first hit. I think he's going to have a great day. He's not your typical guy that's starting that first game. This is game 77. So I think that,
and I think this is the 4th straight season opener he's starting, and he's in his 6th year in college. So experience edge for King.
Definitely. So that's why I think it's not going to bother him. This whole thing is not going to, obviously everybody has nerves. I don't care if you've been in the NFL and you're a 10-year All-Pro. You're going to have butterflies and some nerves until that first play or that first hit or whatever. But he's so mature. You don't worry. I wouldn't worry about him. I think he's going to do fine. What kind of numbers? I don't know what numbers. I think he'll do what he's capable of doing. He could beat you with his arm. He could beat you with his feet. He beats you with his mind and experience, and that's where I think he gives you the edge. And that's where I think he plays into your thinking, where Miami will keep this a lot closer than most people think, because you have DAndre King. Let's just concentrate on his health and every play that he gets up and he's ready to go again. And the Miami needs to, don't overcompensate. Don't don't continue to, just because someone beats you, to hold just because you don't want him to get King because you're going to be, in the back, you'll be putting yourself back in your own side of the field all day. So I think he'll be fine. I think we're making too much of everything. I think DAndre King is our least of our worries. He's probably the least worry. He's the reason why Miami has a shot in this game.
No, and we know Miami, they can't win this game if they can't run the football, and they have talent at the running back position. There's no question about it. Yeah. I mean, Chaney, he's my favorite of the bunch. Harris is technically the starter, but, Chaney and Rooster are going to get a lot of burn, I would imagine. But Miami's O-line in the trenches matching up against Alabama's front seven. Are we going to have any room to run the football?
I think that DAndre King gives you that because he'll start maybe spreading things out a little bit, widen the gaps, and then they'll be able to see the field a little bit more and then run the ball. If you're going to run a pro set and run the ball, you're not going to do it because Alabama's going to stack the box and make sure you don't. But if you open things up and show, hey, listen, we're going to filter our running back out of the backfield and we'll throw to him. So that opens things up. That gets the defensive minds of Alabama thinking a little bit, why? This isn't the same Ole Miss team that's just going to power you off to the right side and then throw this. Miami's got so many different options. Yeah, no, I definitely think that the defensive coaches at Alabama are doing a whole lot more thinking this week than the offensive coaches are.
Now, defensively for Miami, they're pretty stacked at defensive back. More of our concerns are with the front seven, Blue. You're replacing your top two defensive ends. The linebacking core is just not deep. So what do you expect from that front seven, not just tomorrow, but projected over the season? Do you think we're going to be pleasantly surprised?
Well, this is where Manny Diaz comes in because he gives you the best shot as a defensive coordinator to come up with different plays. And that's what he's all about. Like we always used to talk about Randy Shannon. The strength of Randy Shannon was him calling defensive plays. And, he anticipated that. And that's what has gotten, and you and I have talked about this. This is what has gotten Manny Diaz to this level. His ability to be a defensive coordinator and make decisions and, dial up, some pretty good defenses. And this is what he's got to do. This is his job. This is his job. It's the toughest assignment of the whole week out of any coach because he has to stop an Alabama team that, like Brian Monroe told us, that's averaging 38 points a game over the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah. That's what you have to think about. And this is on Manny. This is his team, but yet his defense.
Yeah, and not only all those 38-point outings, but Alabama, I mentioned this yesterday on both our pod and on my live show, 24 straight games they've scored over 30 points.
Crazy.
24 straight games. And I just, and they could very well score over 30 tomorrow. I think they're going to be under 40 tomorrow more because I think they're going to emphasize the running game more than the passing game. Blue, do you get my sense that for Miami to win this game, you've got to have at least 2 game-changing turnovers. Maybe could be, a blocked punt, interception with a big return, a pick
Fumble,
six, something like that. Like you've got to have multiple of those, right? If you force 1 turnover or no turnovers, you have no chance to win that game.
Not even a remote chance. And while you're trying to force turnovers, you don't need to have turnovers. Alabama needs none of your charity, no help, nothing at all. They don't need your help. Miami needs all the help in the world. And that's why if Alabama, they could jar a ball loose or get a big hit, maybe on a big play and get a big hit in the secondary. Because that's where I feel more comfortable than any part of Miami's defense is the secondary. Because they have guys that'll knock you a little bit, that they have cover corners. They have, good people in the secondary. But that being said, how long can these guys hang if Miami's front seven doesn't get penetration and the offensive line starts being like the Great Wall and you can't penetrate it? Then Bryce Young will have all day to make a selection. And even the best defensive secondary is not going to be able to cover. So Miami has to come up with schemes. He's got a lot of blitz packages, I'm sure. Not to leave themselves vulnerable on a blitz package, but something that, quick, that maybe Bryce Young can't recognize and then he can't sting you. You're like really good. That's what Tua was great at. When you used to blitz Tua when he was at Alabama, his release was so quick. He crush you because he'd throw right where that, where the blitz came from. He'd throw right there. So, if you get a quarterback like that, there's nothing you could do. But let's just hope that Miami's defense, they're not deep. That's the thing. So they can't afford anybody to get hurt or miss plays. They need all those guys in there that have worked hard, but the ones to remain in the game as much as they can. We know that Alabama has depth. Even on top of all the guys they lost, they still have plenty of depth. But Miami has the depth in the secondary, and that may challenge a little bit of the receivers, and they may pound on those receivers a little bit. That's what you got to do. Every time Alabama does throw the ball upfield, you got to make them pay. I mean, pay without getting a penalty, but, make them pay, make them think about coming back there again. That's the only way you're going to be able to beat a team like Alabama.
Now, Blue, you are the expert in recruiting. You watch more high school football in one weekend than some of us watch in a lifetime. Like, you go to so many different games. How in the heck did Bishop Sycamore con their way onto national TV? Like, how did they not get vetted? Because Blue, all ESPN had to do was call someone like yourself and say, "Hey, is this team legit?" They told us they have a bunch of Division I prospects. Like, how did they not call one person like yourself or somebody from Rivals or 24/7 and say, "Hey, give me the scoop on Bishop Sycamore"? Because if they had made one of those phone calls, Blue, whoever was on the other, whoever was on the other end of that phone would say, "No, this is not legit."
I'm more surprised at IMG because IMG, they know every opponent. They knew when they played Heritage. They know when they play, St. Francis Academy and games like that. So you would think that, just so they wouldn't get blindsided or surprised by, some studs that this team had, you'd think that they watch film and, one of the coaches would go, "Oh, wait a minute. I recognize that guy from grade school. I went to school with that guy."
Yeah, that's true.
It's I think everybody's kind of going to be a little bit skeptical of schools that you don't know much about from now on, and maybe run a birth certificate check. It's a black eye on some of those people, but nevertheless, we're talking about it 6 days later, so it certainly was an eventful time, but it's not going to happen again. Nobody that I know of would play a team without really knowing against them, about everything about them.
Listen, you do great work. Make sure you follow Blue on Twitter. It's just his name, at Larry Blustein. Check him out all over the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Check him out at LarryBlustein.com. Blue, thank you so much for taking the time, and enjoy the game tomorrow.
You too, Alex. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Love it. I love talking to my boy Blue. It's fantastic. I'm telling you, somebody wrote this in my comments a couple of days ago, that this is the deepest Miami Dolphins team since the days of Marino, quarterback position notwithstanding, of course, because you don't have Dan Marino. We hope Tua can be that someday. And honestly, you look at this depth chart, you compare what the Dolphins have now heading into the 2021 season compared to what they had just 2 seasons ago when Stephen Ross had put the wrecking ball to it. Really, it was Chris Greer who put the wrecking ball to it at Stephen Ross's will. And they had like a bunch of AAF rejects, fighting for playing time and on the 53-man roster. Like, you just look at the wide receiving core alone. And I know people are upset about having to cut Malcolm Perry, who winds up a Patriot, but you knew you were going to have to get rid of somebody that you liked and would stick on another roster. At 3 starting wide receiver spots, you've got Devontae Parker, starter on a depth chart, backed up by Jakeem Grant. You've got Mac Hollins, backed up by Preston Williams. You've got Albert Wilson, backed up by Jalen Waddle. I mean, it is insane the depth of talent you have on both sides of the football. And even only keeping 3 running backs, and you've got a couple guys stashed on the practice squad in Laird and Jared Dokes, who can be called up a couple of times this year, in situations where you need it. I know you don't have the big-time featured back, but I think you've got a hell of a rotation here. And do not sleep on Myles Gaskin. If he has better luck with injuries and, doesn't get COVID again, I think he's one of the vaccinated guys this year. If his availability is better than it was last year, I think Gaskin's going to have a big year, because when he was on the field last year was one of the 5 most productive backs in the NFL. Malcolm Brown and Salvon Ahmed, who is sneaky good also in that rotation. Tua's going to take a big step forward. The offensive line has gotten better. Like, you look through this roster, guys, compared it to last year and then compare it to the joke of a roster from 2 years ago. It is frightening how quickly Chris Grier has been able to assemble one of the deeper squads in the National Football League. Now, how far they go is going to depend on X factor players like Tua and like your stud defensive backs. Can Xavier Howard continue to be consistent, do the types of things he did last year? Not saying 10 interceptions again. No, I'm saying 11. No, I'm not saying double-digit interceptions again, but he was the best player on your team last year. Can he continue that sort of form? I'm really excited for the Dolphins, and I believe they're going to be a playoff team. And my friends, week 1 against New England, that is a must-win game because a lot of people are talking a lot of trash, the Pat McAfees of the world, how New England is better than Miami. We've already got people saying that the quarterback who couldn't win a starting job over Tua while they were on the same team together is better than Tua. People are saying that already, even though the guy has not taken a single regular season NFL snap. We already have people anointing Mac Jones that he's instantly better than Tua. I need Tua to outshine Mac next Sunday. And you know what I found out last night? Kudos to this Twitter account. We back outside Chicharito. He said, quote, "Wait, hold up. Mac Jones's real name is Michael McCorkle Jones." We're not losing to Michael McCorkle, man. Hell fuck no. Hashtag fins up. And of course, I'm not just going to take we back outside Chicharito's word for it. I did verify this. I went to Mac Jones's Wikipedia page, and sure enough, clear as day, Michael McCorkle, quote unquote, Mac Jones, born September 5th, 1998, is a professional football quarterback, an American football quarterback. Michael McCorkle Mac. What kind of a yacht club name is that? Tua cannot lose to this guy. I'm sorry. I will not accept anything less than absolute victory against Michael McCorkle Jones and the New England Patriots. That is freaking hilarious, man. But no, one of the deepest Dolphin teams in decades. Have I gotten Sean Stanley? Maybe we did this a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to put you on the spot again here. Your win-loss prediction for these Miami Dolphins. I'm going 11-6 in the regular season wild card spot because I think the Bills are winning 12 or 13 games this year. So I think the Dolphins get a wild card spot. I think New England wins 9 or 10 games. Miami's going to win 11. What do you think for the Dolphins? Because people are sleeping on this team because they hear so much of this FUD, this fear, uncertainty, and doubt on Tua Tagovailoa, and they start to buy into it because they listen to gas bags like Cow Turd. I think the Dolphins are going to be special this year. What do you think?
17-0.
Oh, man. Which will end up being 20-0, right? Because then they go on to win the Super Bowl.
All the way.
Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! You heard it here first, folks. Manny?
Well, first of all, let me just say in my most expensive fantasy football league, I picked Tua as my quarterback. That's how confident I am.
I actually picked Ryan Tannehill.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe Julio will help him.
Tannehill's going to put up numbers this year.
You're just downright not smart.
Listen, dudes, I don't have.
So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that Malcolm Perry is not going to be a Pro Bowler with New England?
He might be,
Every
or he might.
Player that leaves Miami on another roster for the most part, always becomes a superstar somewhere else.
Not Isaiah Ford though. Isaiah Ford went to New England and then he came right back last year. So they couldn't save Isaiah
right
Ford.
Here, baby, bam, right there. Look at that.
Oh no. We had on Hassan Patel was on yesterday, and he made a great point about Malcolm Perry, because as soon as I saw that Perry, of course, was picked up by the Patriots after the Dolphins cut him, they would have loved, I'm sure, to keep him on the practice squad. He didn't clear waivers. I was thinking Belichick is going to bring him in. He's going to pick his brain. He's going to get everything he needs to know about what the Dolphins are going to do next Sunday. But then Hassan brought up a great point. Malcolm Perry went to the Naval Academy. He is prepared to be tortured. Okay? Like Belichick is going to be in the back room. He's going to be like waterboarding this dude. He's going to be doing whatever he can. They do that thing. I've seen this on TV where they take like little sharp strips of bamboo and they put it like right under your fingernail. It's supposed to be very painful. Like Belichick's going to bring out the bamboo, and Malcolm Perry, he's not going to talk because this man is Navy trained. You're not going to get anything out of this dude. So he better actually be a contributor on the Patriots, and I think he could be. But you're not going to get anything out of him. David writes in, remember that scene from The Goonies? Oh, was that the one where they were trying to put Chunk's hand into the blender? Is that what? Oh, no. Is Belichick going to bring out the blender? He's going to threaten to put Malcolm Perry's hand in there. Although you want this guy, he's a receiver. You want him catching passes. You're not going to put his hand in the blender. I don't think you're going to go that far.
Watch him. The first ever play that Malcolm Perry plays in his NFL career with the New England Patriots will be a handoff.
Yeah, probably so.
And that's to like stick it to Dolphin fans.
Yeah. And no, and I like this message from Ray Grullon. He says, "Howdy Donno, the pundits forget that we being the Dolphins almost beat the Bills here, lost by 3 points. As long as we split with them and sweep the Pats, we're all good." Honestly, I think splitting with the Bills is more likely than sweeping the Pats. I think you're probably going to split with both. I think you're going to split with the Pats and Bills.
But you got to sweep the Jets no matter what.
You got to exactly. That was going to be my next point. You have to sweep the Jets. Yeah. And I know if Pat McAfee, if he's watching, he's like, oh, they're not going to. The Jets are going to sweep the Dolphins. He's all high on the Jets now.
Don't worry, Ray. I got him sweeping the Pats and the Bills.
Wow. What do you have him splitting with the Jets then?
I got him 17-0, buddy. I mean,
17. That's right. That's right.
I mean, if you also want to look at it, Donald, let's look at the divisions they play. They play the NFC South. No more Drew Brees, thank God, right for them. Falcons have a lot of questions overall. I'm not saying that Matt Ryan can't beat you, but Matt Ryan hasn't beaten anybody in years.
Isn't there a certain GOAT in that division, though?
Carolina, no.
Tampa isn't Tampa Bay in that division?
Yeah, but I just feel like Tampa Bay had a lot of things happen their way last season, and that's just me.
Okay, fair enough.
But again, if this offense defense can live up to its expectations, that's by having your corners, being able to shut down sides of the field, and seeing what Eric Rowe can do at the safety spot, and then to see if that front 4 or 5, because we all know what a Brian Flores defense is, and it's to create pressure up front.
Yep.
And if you can't, if you're not leading the league in sacks at least halfway through, then I'm sure you're giving up lots of points because there's just so many people you can actually cover out there, especially if it's in, open field for offense. So,
by the way, it would not be a Friday if we didn't have a Foodie Friday, which is brought to you by our good friends at U Break Wheel Fix in the Aventura area. Mark and his repair and refinishing techs have over 20 years of experience, my friends. They are dedicated to providing high-quality repairs for cracked, bent, or damaged rims and wheels. They get the job done quickly, and they get it done right with a quality guarantee. They've got 5 stars on Yelp and on Google. And guys, they love our local sports teams. So not only can you get your wheels repaired at U-Brake, you can get them tricked out. I've seen people driving around this town, and they've told me, I got it done at U-Brake Wheel Fix with wheels in Dolphins colors, Miami Heat colors, which look really fresh, Canes orange and green, the Inter Miami colors. Do not sleep on that. The pink and black wheels. If you've got like a black car and you've got the pink and black wheels, it looks unbelievable. Call them at 305-748-0112. Tell them Donno from 5 Reasons sent you, or visit them on the web to schedule at ubreakwheelfix.com. So I don't know if these are specific ballpark items, but my girl Carrie Steele, who is always tweeting out like crazy ballpark foods. I kind of feel like people who overpay for bottled water are suckers. Like, oh, because it comes in a fancy bottle, supposedly from the island of Fiji, I need to pay like $7 for a bottle of water. Like, bro, get a Brita filter at home. Like, it's water. It's one of the few free natural resources we have on this planet. I guess it's not completely free. You pay a water bill, but you get my point. How about this for bottled water? This, my friends, is unfiltered hot dog water, and it sells for $38 a bottle. Who's buying this? The hipsters? Like, Sean, help me out here because you're the hot dog aficionado of this show. isn't like the hot dog water, like from a street vendor, isn't that something you want thrown away, not something you want bottled and sold for $38? Like, I don't know what's happening here with unfiltered hot dog water.
No, this is what you want. The hot dog water is what makes a hot dog.
Oh my God.
It sits in there all the time. That's the when you bite into a hot dog, that's the hot dog water. All hot dog fans know this. You're just not a hot dog fan.
I guess not. All right,
American.
show me the other one, because I think I can get behind this one.
Alex. So basically, almost 5 of these hot dog waters can buy my shoes.
Yeah, that's true.
Insane. That is insane. Now you can't tell me that's worse.
Hold on, Manny, stay on here, because you try and slander Nutella all the time.
Oh,
so this is a donut burger stack with 15 or more donuts and ice cream, over 2 pounds of Nutella. Oh, I'm getting so hungry just thinking about this. And apparently there's a burger in there, because it's a donut burger stack. I could probably say hold the burger, because I don't necessarily like to mix my Nutella with ground beef. But at the same time, if you put enough donuts and enough Nutella on there, I may not even notice the burger is in there. WTF is that, says David.
Give me 2 donuts and the burger, and that's it. Everything else can go away.
Have you ever had the donut burger? I've never tried it, but they do those Krispy Kreme burgers. I've never had one before. And he spent $300 on the shoes. He will pay for the water. Oh man! So all right, guys.
Look at David. What the F is that? I don't know, David. That makes Nutella right there. When you look at that picture, that doesn't look appealing at all. I am so sorry.
I'm getting hungry just looking at it, and I got to go off
that and then take a drink of the hot dog water.
Oh, there you go. All right, my friends, we're going to wrap up this episode. 2 options. The next time we have a Donno Daily is going to be Monday at noon. I am either going to be so hopped up on caffeine because I will have spent 36 hours celebrating Miami defeating Alabama. And for those who are not Canes fans, I'm going to be insufferable on Monday if Miami wins. If Miami loses, oh, it's Kanye selling the water. Yeah.
Oh, come on, Alf. Come on, man.
If Miami loses on Saturday, it's going to be a regular show. But if Miami wins, I think I'm just going to yell and scream for an hour straight. So you have that to look forward to. Let's go, Canes. Oh, screw you. It's all about the you. We will talk to you guys again Monday, 12 noon, right here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Ciao.